Hey, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am so excited because I picked up the brand new Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I know I'm not the first person to do a review on this palette. I've seen quite a few people posting videos. I have not watched one single review. I want this to be completely my own thoughts and experience and my own eye looks. I don't want to have any outside influence whatsoever. So this is my opinion, my thoughts on this palette. She is so pretty. This is like, if you're not into green eyeshadows, I can't relate, okay? I love this color story. It's so grungy and yummy, and it's green, and it's got some shimmers in there, some really beautiful shades. So I was so excited when I saw this launch, and I'm excited to play with it today. All I've done so far is run my fingers over some of the shimmers and a couple of the mattes just to see what the formula was like. As far as I can tell, it's pretty much the same formula as we've been seeing, well, formulas as we've been seeing in her other midi palettes. I was looking at the back of the carton, and next to the shade names, there's little abbreviations for like what types of shadows they are. And I'm trying to understand what some of these are. Normally, oh, it does say. Well, it says how to use them. So we got, what is F? Oh, SF. Sparkly finish? What is SF? I don't think it says. It usually does, doesn't it? Natasha, what are we doing? Yeah, it doesn't say what they stand for, unless I'm overlooking it. I could be. My vision's getting terrible, and these letters are tiny. So, CP is cream to powder. Had to think about it for a second. CM is creamy matte. We got regular matte shadows. That's it. So cream to powder, creamy matte, regular matte, and then whatever that SF is. I'm thinking sparkle finish. Okay, that's got to be what it is. Maybe. We're making that up as we go along. So I'm excited to play with it today with you all. I just want to share it with you. I want to play with some makeup. I want to put some on the eyeballs. I haven't done eyeshadow in a very long time because I don't ever have time to anymore. So I just want to play. I want to have fun. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. We'll figure it out as we go along. So if that sounds interesting, please be sure to stick around. Watch some looks come together. I'm thinking we'll do two. We'll do one on each eye. If I'm feeling real frisky, we'll take both of those off, and maybe I'll do a third eye look to finish, a complete look. We'll see what I have time to do. Let's go ahead and get into this palette. Okay, so one more time here. This is the packaging. It's that like matte feeling to it. Really bright and beautiful and grungy at the same time. And of course there are 15 shades in here. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, so I'm thinking first and foremost I need to get some primer on these lids. A tried and true eyeshadow base for the Natasha Denona formulas is the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, so that's what it's called. They have different colors or tones, I guess you could say. Mine is in light, and it's just my skin tone, so it works. It does dry down pretty matte, and the reason why I like using this one is because of the cream to powder shadows. They blend well over top of this base. If you use something that's a little bit more creamy, say like P. Louise or Anastasia, or even like the Juvia's Place primer, the cream to powder shades, I feel like they just don't blend as well over top of a creamy base. So I'd rather use something that dries down. Ooh, doggy. I put the Too Faced lip injection, the maximum plump on my lips, just to put something on. Can you see them like turning bright pink? Oh, they're on fire. Like, oh my god. Oh, they're burning. I know I've kind of gotten away from this type of content on my channel. I don't film a lot of first impressions or reviews with palettes anymore just because, I don't know, they don't really do that well on my channel. My collection content and my Shop My Stash stuff, like that's what you all want to see the most, so that's what I film the most nowadays, but I really love filming with eyeshadow palettes. I love trying them out. I love creating looks. So some of you all might not be here for that. That's okay. You don't have to watch every video. Figured maybe some of you guys would want to watch it, so here we are. So I feel like there's a couple different ways I can go with this. I can try to keep it pretty like uninvolved. I can do something very light. I could take this green and basically use that everywhere, put some sparkle on top and call it a day, which is really not my style of eyeshadow. I'm a little bit more complicated than that. I could take the greens and really get grungy with it. I can do something more warm with the browns. Like there's a few different ways you can use this palette. The million-dollar question is, what look am I trying to get? Not sure. Like these sparkle shadows are really pretty. This one is Kamaribi? I have no idea. But she's pretty. Like, you can't fully see all the dimension in that. There's a lot of sparklies. Yeah, you still can't tell. It just looks like a sparkly gold shadow. It's so beautiful, though. There's a lot going on in that shadow. I'm a diehard Natasha Denona fan. I have every single one of her midi palettes, some of her larger palettes, some of the little tinier palettes. I just think that her formula is very beautifully done. The color coordination in her palettes, it just makes sense. They're easy to use. I just really enjoy using her palettes. So I knew immediately when I saw this come out that I had to have it. You're going to jump in my lap, aren't you? And there she is. Do you want to say hi? Say hi. 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 She's so rotten. Yes. She's a rotten BB. Hi, honey. She's my rotten girl. She's got to be right with me all the time. What are you going to do when we go to beach? What you going to do? You're going to be lonely. You're going to be lonely. It's going to make me sad thinking about it. Oh, no. Look at that face. This is Luna. I think I already shared her in one of my other videos. I have lip gloss on, so you can't put your head on my lips. What's she doing? Pretty girl? She's such a sweetheart. Okay, this video is not about you. So, I need you over there. I do think that there's a little bit of, I don't want to say repetitiveness, but a little bit too much similarity between this shadow here and this one up here. I just don't feel like they're different enough where you're gonna see it on the eyes. Like, look how close, look how similar those are. One is definitely a little lighter than the other, but not enough to when I blend them on the eyeballs, you're going to be able to tell a difference. So I certainly feel like we could have done better there. But those are the only two that I think are like super similar. Why does this brow always like up high? Like it's always excited. I can't do that with this one. I do like the fact that we have some depth in here. We've got this really deep green, this really deep brown, this really dark forest green. So there's enough to like smoke it out, make it like smoky. I like that. I like that we have some depth. So I officially started my vacation today. Today's day number 1. I'm so excited. We're going to the beach. Virginia Beach to be exact. It's several hours away from my home. So I am just so, by the time you guys see this, we'll probably be back from the beach. So I won't still be there, but I just can't wait. I'm so excited. We didn't get to go last year. I'm cleaning my brushes while I'm talking, so I'm not just, you know, yakking your ear off. I'm just excited. We didn't get to go last year because I was so sick. And I told myself this year, I don't give a shit if I'm doubled over dying. We're going to the beach. My kids are getting old enough to where I'm worried they won't want to be hanging out with me like that much longer. So I want to do it while they still want to hang out with me. My oldest will be 20 this year. I've got a soon-to-be 17-year-old. My youngest just turned 15. Your girl's getting older, okay? Like, my kids are growing up, and we need to take advantage of everything that we can right now. That's kind of where I'm at. What the fuck do I want to do? I'm going to take Fushi. It's this really beautiful, like, mustardy, grungy yellow. Let's start off with my classic crease brush from Sonia G. I've been using these brushes for quite a long time now, and they just work. This is a cream to powder shade, so I do get a little bit nervous when using these shadows because you just never know. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to put it in the crease and kind of blow it up towards my eyebrow. Some creators are really good with visualizing an eye look before it's created. Like they know in their mind what they're creating. They have an idea of what they're trying to do. Not me. I'm not able to do that. I don't have that kind of creative eye. So I just have to like roll with it and hope it turns out okay. Just kind of create as I go. Very soft. This is a very, like not the shadow itself, but the color is very soft. And it might be the brush I'm using. This brush is very floofy. If I was using something a little bit more compacted, something a little more dense, then there'd be a lot more color payoff. But I'm trying to keep it a little airy because this is the outermost color. And I want to blend things into this color. Okay, so far that's what we have. Just a really beautiful, grungy looking yellow. I feel like I'm a little overexposed. Ma'am, I'm trying to do something. I'm busy. I'm busy. What are we doing? Huh? I'm trying to film. And you're always right in my business, and you're too cute to say no to. Yeah, what's you doing? What? I know it. You're gonna have to go over there, though. I'm busy. I'm sorry. I think I want to deepen that up. No, ma'am. She'll jump on me with her claws and, like, hang. I'm busy right now. I'm so sorry. She's used to just being right on top of me all the time. I'm thinking that I want to take the shade, oh Jesus, Ixia, I don't know how you pronounce that, to kind of warm this up even more. Just kind of working our way up here, blendy blend. Ooh, I like that. I'm just giving it some warmth here. So far, so good. Typical Natasha Denona formula. Okay. Now I think what I want to do is blend this really beautiful dark brown up into that. Now something I like to do, I know this isn't a tutorial really, but I just wanted to tell you this. I have very hooded eyes, if you couldn't tell. So what I like to do when I'm blending is I like to blend up into this corner up here. Like I'll blend up into this like corner of the brow, basically. Corner of this lid space. It kind of lifts the lid a little bit. And you can actually see the color I'm putting down. Because if I don't do that and I keep it all right above the lid, you're not going to see any of it because of the hoodedness. I want to take a packer brush. So this one is the Sonia G Builder Pro. And I'm going to pack that shade Flax on the outer eyelid. I like how this shade is very cool toned. Like it's not too extremely warm. There's a little bit of coolness to it. I kind of like that. Beautiful. And now I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and dip into that same brown shade and blend it up carefully. I really don't want to overpower what I already have down, but I love to give an eye look some dimension and depth. These are blending so nicely. What pretty shimmer shade needs to go on that inner corner, the inner lid? Does it need to be this one? Like, look at that. That's beautiful. Or that one. They are both very beautiful, but I feel like it needs to be this one. So that one is Plantasia, and that's that first sparkly duo. It's a duochrome because there is like an orange base to it, but then it shifts like that yellow shade or gold shade, and it is super sparkly. It's also very sheer, like it's a very thin shadow. So I think what I'm gonna do is build this up just a tad more. And whenever I want to blend like the inner corner in with the outer shadows, I will kind of do like a gradient. So I didn't put any more shadow on my brush. I'm just going to drag it forward a little bit until it blends into nothing. And then I'm going to deepen that outer corner a little bit. And now, I don't like to use a brush for these shimmer shades just because they apply better with your finger, in my humble opinion. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it on the finger, and I'm going to tap Plantasia. Ooh, she's pretty. All over the inner lid. I don't have any glitter primer down. Nothing special. It's right on top of that NARS eyeshadow base, which again is matte. Not tacky. I mean, it's just pretty. Like, that was easy. It didn't take any effort. I think I did that look in under 10 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. I like it. Okay. Now I need to do something different on the other lid. Something very different. I don't want to do anything similar. So I kind of want to like bring colors underneath for you to show you the whole like look full circle. but I also wanted to do a third eye look where I wipe everything off and then do both eyes the same. Now I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. I'm going to leave it alone for now. I might finish it off when I'm done. I'm not sure yet. This next look that I want to do is going to be completely different. I went more warm toned, like orange brown, that fantasy. For the next look, I want to do something that's more on the green side because let's face it, this palette has a lot of green in it. I'm thinking we'll start off with Camu Camu, which is this really bright neon. Reminds me of like that double mint or whatever it is, that the bubble gum. That's what that reminds me of. Let's go with this color here. I'm always curious if it's going to show up as bright green on the lids. Like when it's this really bright neon shade, I feel like it doesn't really translate. Okay, we got some color payoff with that one. There's just a lot of green in here. Some really pretty grungy or olive greens. I don't know what to do. Like, I kind of want to go with this Gumby green. That's what that reminds me of, Gumby. And then deepen it up with this really beautiful cream to powder. Whoops, cream to powder shade, whatever that one is. Calathea. Screw it. Let's do it. It's going to be my new punchline. Screw it, let's do it. Okay, going to take Willow on a fluffy brush. I'm going to take it on the Worker Pro. The Worker Pro is it's a flat and fluffy brush, which I really like for packing color and then blending it out. I'm not exactly going to be packing this on quite yet, but I am going to start placing it in the crease carefully. And this one is also a matte shadow. I don't think this is the right brush for this. Let's use something fluffier. Ah, this is what I want. A Crease Pro from Sonia G. It's a crease brush. It's got that tip on there, and it'll help to pick up the pigment, and it's not too floofy up top. It's just the right amount of floof. There we go. Lay more color down. This shade's a little different. Dipping back into Camu Camu, which is that bright yellowy green, and just blending the edges a little bit. I feel like that didn't really blend out as well as I wanted it to. It's pretty dark though. Going from that really light green and then straight into that one was a little bit of a challenge. I'm not sure what else I would have gone into though if I want to keep these tones. Not too bad now. Oh, I like that. I don't really know what to do with this color combination. I'm thinking like this green is the most like obvious choice, but do I want obvious? I am very much so a shimmer type of girl. I don't like just using mattes. It's just not my jam. I gotta have some shimmer on the lids. I kind of wanted to take Calathea and deepen up this entire look, which is this really pretty cream to powder shade up here. Ooh, I'm just worried. I know how these shades can be. And let's dip into Calathea. Oh, I don't know if I want that tone. It's almost not as deep as the other one, or about the same. Oh, it's clashing a little bit. I'm gonna keep rolling with it. Keep building. That's really not what I was expecting from that shade. You know? Like, look at it in the pan. Whoops. Backwards. It's really hard to do. Look at it in the pan. And then on my lid. It's just more toned down on the lid. Whale. I kind of feel like I want to go back the other way with that. I'm going to take that same fluffy flat brush and dip into Willow, which is the Gumby green again. And pack that over top the cream to powder shade. Because I'm losing the tone that I was enjoying. It definitely deepened it up a little bit. See, I just made more work for myself. Now I'm going to have to blend the edges out on that because it's not meshing well. Dipping back into that lighter green, Camu Camu, to go around the edges. Reminds me of like Sprite. I kind of want to take the shade, is it Macchia or Macchia? This really beautiful shimmery green down here. It's kind of translucent. Not translucent, but there's not a lot of base to it. I kind of want to tap that on the inner portion of my lid and just roll with it and see what happens. But I do need to build up just a little bit more out here. So let me do that really quickly and then we'll tap that color on. All right. Well, that didn't do a whole lot, did it? Let's try that again. That's a little better. It's very like sheer. Huh. Not what I was expecting from that shade. And then I'm gonna, again, go back into that Gumby green and tap on the corner here. Reinforce that outer corner. I mean, I don't hate it. It's very basic. It's not a very elaborate look. I kind of feel like it's undone, but I don't know. I don't even know what else I would do with that. So those are the first two looks. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so y'all can see. Again, remember if I had the under eye work and the lashes done and all that stuff, it would look a little bit different. The inner corner highlight. But this is where we are right now. And I really would like to do a third and final eye look. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe this off very carefully. It's going to be hard to do without ruining the rest of my makeup. And then when I come back, we'll finish the third and final eye look. Okay, I went ahead and took off, to the best of my ability, I removed the shadow around my, oh, you can really see like the tinge of murky green on this one. I'm sorry, but I did the best I could removing it without having to remove the entirety of my base makeup. So this is what we're stuck with for right now. I want to do a third and final look. I've been staring at this palette for the last 10 minutes, trying to come up with something different than what I've already done up till now. And I think I'm going to try to do something a little bit more on the olive side. I don't know. Let's just have fun and get something on the lids. Again, I use the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. And I don't like how you can see the tint of green. Let's just move on. So I'm going to start off with this one, which is Tipu, I guess. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. I love that murky ass green. What can I say? You can definitely see how it's changing the tone though because of the prior shadow that was down. That's kind of irritating a little bit. Oh well, not much I can do about it now. Okay, where to go from here? I think I'm going to take Valley, which is this lighter brown. And I'm going to blend that up, and then I'm going to pack this one on, and then we'll go in with this one. Let's just do that. Let's go that route. Oh, I don't know if I really want it going this way. It's hard to get the two to match just because the tones on the base were so different. Now I want to take the shade Flax, which is that really deep brown. Pack that on the outer corner, blend it up a little bit. This looks kind of similar to the other look I did, right? It's a little different. It's still got the same vibe though. I kind of want to take a really fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the shade Citrine, this brighter green, on the outside just a little bit. Because I want to keep it that murky green. I don't want it to be overpowered by that lighter brown that I used. Because there's orange in it. There we go. That'll do the trick. I'm kind of living for that. That's murky as hell. What is the next move? I could do a couple of different things. I really wanted to incorporate this really pretty, like, it's not a silver, it's a charcoal, kind of a silvery charcoal color. I'm thinking if I tap that out on the outer edge. And then on the inner, I can use that. Let's just do that. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So let's do it. I'm going to pack that dark brown on the corner here. Now I want to take Komoribi. I don't know how to say it. I'm taking that really beautiful, sparkly gold shade here. Ooh, that's pretty. Not shabby. I do think it's pretty similar from the other look that I did, though. Not completely, but it's got the vibe, you know? Okay, now I'm going to work on the under eyes. I'm going to take Flax and I'm going to stamp that on the lower lash line. I'm going to smoke that out with the shade Tipu. Actually, let's do Citrine. Let's do that one instead. This is just my kind of color story. I don't know how people can not like green eyeshadow. I just, there's something about it. Love that. Okay, now that that's finished, you know what? I need an inner corner highlight. And I really don't have one in here. That's my only complaint. There's really not an inner corner highlight with this palette. That kind of sucks. I could pop this really pretty neon in there, but I don't think I'm going for that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to dip outside this palette for the inner corner highlight. Okay, so for the inner corner highlight, I took the shade Time Shift from Terra Moon's Cosmetics, one of my favorite indie brands. I just had to do a little something for that inner corner, something to make it pop a little bit, and I think that's perfect. So I'm going to curl the lashes, and I'm going to take the ColourPop Act Natural Mascara. It's one of my favorites. This one's getting a little old, so it's probably drying out a little bit. But still a fantastic mascara. Very affordable. Okay, so I have the mascara on. For the waterline, I want to take the cream gel liner. This one's from ColourPop, and it's in Extra Frosting. That's really hard to read. I wanted to keep this bright. I thought about doing dark brown, but I think I want to keep the waterline bright. Just kind of brightens things up, right? I like it. So this is the finished look using the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. So let me know down below, out of the 3 looks that you've seen me do, which one is your favorite? I don't know. I feel like maybe this one's my favorite. I kind of liked all 3 of them though. What can I say? I really do like this palette. I feel like you have to be a little bit careful though in terms of like which shadows you pair with each other, because you're going to get very similar looks. There's a lot of similarities between, honestly, these 2 here, I was a little surprised, but the undertone is very similar. It's a very warm, I was going to say very warm brown. It kind of is. Like, this is almost more leaning orange, but there's like an orangey tone to this brown as well. So if you're using that and using one of the greens, like these 2 greens here, super freaking similar. These 2, super similar. Especially once they're blended out on the eyes, you're really not going to see that much of a difference. So in that way, you just have to be a little bit careful or you're going to get similar eye looks. But in saying that, I think there's enough variation here to get a lot of different eye looks depending on which colors you pair with each other. I'm just not very creative, okay? I try. I just don't have that creative eye. So I really enjoyed the palette. I had a lot of fun playing with it. So that's going to wrap up this video, testing out the all-new Yucca palette. I need to get back into doing eyeshadow. It's one of my favorite things about makeup, and I just don't do it enough. So it just gets those creative juices flowing, and I love this look. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video and you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to tap the subscribe button if you've been enjoying my content. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It lets me know that you like this kind of content from me, and it lets YouTube know, which is super important for engagement. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.